So while we're setting the scene, the technical aspects of our panel, some space for us, for you to see the PowerPoint presentation and the videos that we may watch. Aslam, before introduced me mentioning the experience I had in disaster risk reduction, and I have to confess disaster risk reduction and humanitarian aid is a little in my blood. That's been many years of my life dedicated to that. But I have a second confession. Sometimes when I read reports on disaster risk reduction or I hear some high-level conversations about disaster risk reduction, I get a little lost. A lot of jargon, a lot of concepts, and it's difficult for me to really get a sense on what we are talking about. And that's what I love about this session right now. Just the title says it all. Private sector experiences on disaster resilience. So here, what we're going to have is concrete examples on how enterprises, companies have managed the disaster. What has worked, what has been challenging, and how they've coped with that, and what is their vision from what is possible to create and what we have to create if we really want to talk about resilience. So let me talk about our panelists. We have first Dr. Ammarin Dharaphop. Would you like to start first with your presentation? Would you like to speak from here, or do you have a PowerPoint? Perfect, thank you very much. Please help me welcome Dr. Ammarin Dharaphop. He represents here Loxley Public Company. He's been a consultant with this company and a member of Thailand Water Resources Association for 15 years. His presentation is about Loxley's GRR solutions. Thank you very much. We'll listen to you.
Thank you very much, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I would like to present some of the experiences, but well, during the flood of Thailand or in the past many years, Loxley was not actually impacted much. So I have other experiences directly in my personal experience that I would like to share with you. And then that experience actually led to one of the Loxley DRR initiative that we are pursuing right now. This was in 2012 when the MacDougall industrial estate had an explosive on one day, and the next day it was a chemical leak. I took a job as a consultant to go into the scene and do interviews and surveys. We interviewed the local communities in MacDougall, located only about 2 miles north of the explosion. And about 200 households were interviewed. And what I found out was one of the community leaders who has been through many emergency exercises, she said that after the event, she fled, evacuated from the town without telling anyone, and then while she was in the car, she was calling her colleagues and friends to let them know what's happening. And one of a temple in the communities, all of the monks were in the temple without being notified or informed while the whole town was evacuated. And most of the monks were sick and ill and has to be delivered to hospitals. Also, during the emergency, people were fleeing from the town, and there was not any much plans or coordinations. So there were traffic accidents everywhere in order to flee the scene. And people said that it took them about 4 hours to drive 25 kilometers into some place safe north of the cities. 4 hours to drive 25 kilometers. And I mean, if one of the pressurized gas tank blast, it has a radius of about 8 kilometers of destruction. So I concluded that the joint emergency exercise for privates and communities are really, really needed. Now, with technologies nowadays that enabling a wonderful information gathering system such as drones, it becomes cheap. We have aerial, we have ground, we have surface, we have underwater. We can do mapping, like a risk map of flood prone areas. We can do a risk map of landslide. We can do evaluation of how much is the volume of the landslide that we have to recover after the incident. We can create some sort of flying defibrillators, like a drone to save people's life. We can do precision agriculture for pre and post incident very effectively with a very, very, very low cost nowadays, meaning large and medium enterprise now have access to all these technologies. So why don't we do it? So we can do a search and rescues very easily and effectively. And we can now create virtual worlds. This is what I would like to focus. With a virtual world, it's not just an image. It's a three-dimensional surface data that would allow users to actually get an immersive experience into the virtual world. Now with this tool, we can do a very, very wonderful emergency trainings. The training that we may not be able to do it anywhere. Also, another enabling technology is computers. Very powerful computer nowadays become very, very cheap. We could create incident command simulators that would actually help us train on the strategic level, technical levels, and operational levels, all kind of levels of training and exercise, the plannings. And this virtual training would help us create room for improvements. It will help us train the untrained incidents. It will create a virtual war room so that emergency managers from different organizations can come together and combine pieces and pieces of emergency plans into one integral emergency plans for the neighborhood and the communities. We can do the flooding incidents in the virtual world. We can do fire. We can do airport incident, earthquakes, and other types of the incidents to do plannings and preparedness. Now, with these tools at hand, we would like to initiate disaster risk management within our neighborhood and communities. Last year on the 26th of April, there was a fire right next to Loxley building headquarters. It is actually only protect us by one concrete wall from the whole building. And our fireman supported this fire and then take action upon it. But what I would like to talk about is how would this Loxley emergency plan actually coordinate in concert with the emergency plans of the neighboring organizations, such as this oil storage, the chemical storage over here, and some of the slum of the Klong Tay communities. People live around here. There is a train line, a rail line, that carrying fuel from these port authorities out into the cities. There are fuel tankers going in and out of this street. when this fire occurred, has this organization been informed that there is a fire and prevent or stop all of the fuel truck to go in? Has the State Railway Authority of Thailand been informed not to move any toxic chemicals or oil throughout the rail lines that is actually only about 3 meters away from the fire? Has the expressway authorities realized that there is a fire blasting underneath the expressway? A 30 minutes of fire blasting could actually weaken the road and possible a collapse of this bridge. All of this hasn't been in place because we did not have any integral emergency management and planning. So we would like to create a virtual world of this, we call it Naranong Street communities, where we can bring together all of the incident managers in the areas from public organization, from private organization, and the community leaders in this neighborhood to come together and review the plan and get an immersive experiences on what if this happened or that happened, create multiple scenarios, see how these plans of all of us comes together as a one single emergency planning for the communities. Our goal is to define role and responsibilities of each responders of each organization. We want to coordinate and control the community plans and the flow of information throughout organizations. We want to create alerting procedures for the communities, facilitate all the equipment and see who has what resources, where and how much, so that we can mitigate if such an unfortunate event happen. With all this, I believe the joint emergency preparedness amongst the private organization and communities must be in place somehow. We should create some sort of mechanism to push this. We work together for about 2 years now with the MacDougall College of Medicine. This college create doctors, medical doctors for the militaries. However, upon the graduation of these doctors, the doctors has to go through a field training. They have to go into the forest, which is created some incident scenarios for them. And then they will start making decisions on how to get into the area and save lives of the people who is under such a unfortunate event. And private sector like us is actually need know-how from organizations such as this in order to help us build a platform for this exercise and training. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ammarin, Dharaphop, for this invitation and this initiative already from this company for private sector, public organizations and community to really plan together and to bring their interest together for more efficient disaster risk reduction and resilience building. Are there any questions in the audience? Yes, thank you. Can we have a mic up? Thank you.
Thank you. That was very inspiring, I believe, for all of us, a presentation. My question is, why do you think other companies are not doing it? Of course, you are doing it, right? And this is good to have a champion. In everything we do, we look for the champion. We look for the big company maybe, or medium company, not the very small one. They are waiting, wait and see. So why the other big ones, or at the level of your company, wait and see?
There is something called free riders. Let's say a community is having a flood problems. To solve these problems, you have to create a stormwater drainage. And this 1 kilometer length, if you have 10 organizations along the rivers or along the canals, each one of them would be responsible for their own section. But a free riders would not do it because they are hoping that someone else is going to do it for them. When there is one free rider, there will be the second and the third free riders. And then the system wouldn't work. Now, well, from my small mind, I was thinking that, so for everyone to actually take some responsibilities into this, and of course, we cannot avoid saying that financial is actually a key player here. Say if we pull some sort of a tax for disaster risk reduction from private organization, put it into a pool of fundings, and if any private organization is doing some initiative in order to reduce risk like this, then you get a full refund back, something like that. Then I think it might work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ammarin. I would like to welcome now Mr. Tuan, who is the General Director, Legal Department of the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce. He's been with the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce for 16 years. And have you noticed how many times we've talked in the last panel about chambers of commerce? So we are really eager to hear about what is your experience in disaster risk reduction as a Chamber of Commerce and your recommendation to the whole community. Thank you very much. Please help me welcome Mr. Tuan.
Thank you, Nance. We do not think that we're so important in Vietnam now. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, my presentation today, we want to share our experience from Vietnam, one of our important projects, strengthening public-private partnership for GIDRM in Vietnam. Our important partner is the Asia Foundation. We have Nguyễn Thị Thanh here from the Asia Foundation. Vietnam is one of the most heavily affected country in the world about the disaster. So some research shows that we lost around 1.5% of GDP per year for disaster, and 60% of our population caused by disaster risk. And according to research in Vietnam, we can see, you can see that the losses from disaster is rising, increasing a lot recently. And for business, Bijan before me presented a very good presentation about the SME. I don't want to repeat, but small and medium enterprise is very important for Vietnam. More than 40% of GDP and more than half of total Vietnam labor force. And disaster damage to Vietnam SME is a lot. You can see a lot of pictures from Da Nang 3 years ago. And according to our survey, cooperate with the Asia Foundation in 2011, we found that 85% of enterprise hit by seasonal storm in central Vietnam, and 45% is by flood, so very, very heavily affected. Like a case study from Quảng Ninh, north of Vietnam, not central Vietnam heavily affected by storm, seasonal storm. But in Quảng Ninh, north of Vietnam, we last year Quảng Ninh have extreme rainfall and flood, and not only lost a lot of money, but heavily affected for tourist sector and for a lot of in enterprise. Follow our survey conducted in 2011, we can see that the small and medium enterprise still not really to well planned. Over 80% of business says that they have no disaster planning, and plan only exists on paper. So they and only over 60% said that no disaster risk insurance. And even for enterprise, they want to buy insurance, risk insurance, they could not find in Vietnam. The market is still very, very low and almost empty. And for SMEs, a lot of them very they lost a lot from the disaster and storm. Under our survey, we found that most of SMEs, they also think that they rely on the support from government. And insurance is not important factor. And they always think that government will, they still wait for the support from government. And their active role still very low. And but they want to know more about DIM policy and more training on the DIM. From our study, we can see that SME in Vietnam, of course, very vulnerable, and they are generally poorly prepared for disaster. And but of course, the condition between quite different between the SME and foreign enterprise. And from 2011 to 2014, Vietnam Chamber of Commerce cooperate with the Asia Foundation. We conduct a very good project, and our objective is we want to build effective and sustainable disaster response in Vietnam. We have some target here, objective. First, we want to strengthen the public-private partnership for disaster risk management, and we also want to have plan to empower for small and medium enterprise to prepare for the disaster. And we also want to promote the cooperation and the CSR in Vietnam. We have some activity like building link between the government, business, and community. And we also to conduct some activity to promote CSR and some result after 3 years in Vietnam. We have more than 2,000 managers from 1,200 business in 14 provinces world chain. And we conduct a lot of public-private dialogue in province to develop PPP. And we also conduct a very good, very wide, nationwide communication strategy. And from Vietnam, from that program, we can see that small and medium enterprise often have short-term horizon, and they have a low management capacity, and they have adapted to disaster risk without formal planning. And from our experience, we can see that identification of disaster risk is not sustainable to ensure interest in disaster risk planning. And thank you.
for this comprehensive presentation. All these statistics give us a really interesting idea of what is the panorama and also the lessons on your implementation. Quite interesting initiatives with very positive results of having more managers trained, more businesses trained, and then the ripple effect of having people with a higher awareness and higher training. Are there questions in the audience? Do you want to know a little more of this experience? Something that you would like more details on? Yes, thank you. Please, can we have a, yeah, thank you.
I don't have questions because I work with Tuan in the years in terms of the private sector engagement in disaster risk reduction. I want to add a few points. By 2011, we found it very hard to start with businesses in disaster risk reduction. So we learned to know that we need to get someone business trusted. That's why we came to VCCI, one of the largest business representatives in Vietnam. So that is the first point. The second point, why we're dealing with disaster with businesses, the business leader is really important actors. From our experience, if we get business leaders in our activities, the impact is really, really fast. That is the second point. And the last point I would highlight here is you know, business, they have a lot of concern daily. For example, their concern is about tax, labor, money, where they want to get from. So disaster risk reduction is a kind of sideline on their operation. So again, I would like to emphasize, make it become a kind of core interest of business is really important. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. I would like now to welcome Mr. Chanyut from Isuzu Motor. He's the group manager of Procurement Parts Management Group. He's been with Isuzu Motor for 20 years, inspiring loyalty and commitment to the company. So he has a lot to share with us on what they do. And especially here, his focus is going to go on providing supplier business continuity plan.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Please help me welcome Mr. Chanyut
สวัสดีครับ ต้องขออนุญาตพูดเป็นภาษาไทยนะครับเพราะว่ายังไม่ถนัดภาษาอังกฤษนะครับก่อนอื่นนะครับวันนี้นะครับผมต้องขอบคุณทาง ADPC นะครับที่ปีที่แล้วเนี่ยครับมีการซัพพอร์ตความรู้ทางด้าน BCP ให้กับทาง Isuzu นะครับแล้วก็ปีนี้นะครับวันนี้นะครับทาง ADPC ก็ให้โอกาสทาง Isuzu นะครับได้มาแชร์ประสบการณ์เกี่ยวกับด้านการทำ BCP กับทางซัพพลายเชนของเรานะครับก่อนอื่นผมขอแนะนำตัวก่อนนะครับผมชื่อชัญยุทธ จำรัดพรนะครับเป็นผู้จัดการกลุ่มงานนะครับของบริษัท Isuzu Motor นะครับเราอยู่ในส่วนงานของการจัดซื้อและจัดหานะครับก็ในเรื่องของภัยพิบัติเนี่ยเป็นตัวหนึ่งที่เราดูแลอยู่นะครับรถคันหนึ่งนะครับเราประกอบรถขึ้นมาเนี่ยครับเรามีซัพพลายเชนที่ค่อนข้างจะใหญ่นะครับเรามีเทียร์วันเนี่ยครับประมาณ202ซัพพลายเออร์นะครับกระจัดกระจายอยู่ในทั่วภูมิภาคของประเทศไทยนะครับแล้วหลังจากนั้นนะครับนอกจากเทียร์วันที่มี202ซัพพลายเออร์แล้วเนี่ยครับเราก็ยังมีมากกว่า 1,700 บริษัทนะครับที่อยู่ในซัพพลายเชนของเรานะครับซึ่งในจำนวนนั้นนะครับมีประมาณ 1,300 กว่าบริษัทนะครับซึ่งเป็นไทยซัพพลายเออร์นะครับแล้วก็ผมค่อนข้างมั่นใจว่ามากกว่าครึ่งเนี่ยครับน่าจะเป็น SME นะครับทำไม Isuzu ถึงสนใจ BCP นะครับการที่เราสนใจ BCP ครับเราคงต้องพูดถึงปี 2011 นะครับ ปี 2011 นะครับตอนภาคเหนือนะครับแล้วก็ตอนกลางของประเทศไทยนะครับประสบปัญหาอุทกภัยนะครับก็จะเห็นว่าที่รูปเนี่ยครับก็มีรูปน้ำท่วมนะครับรถนะครับวัดวาอารามนะครับจมน้ำไปทั้งหมดเลยนะครับในปีนั้นนะครับเทียร์วันของ Isuzu เนี่ยครับ61ซัพพลายเออร์นะครับแล้วก็มี TN เนี่ยครับมากกว่า100ซัพพลายเออร์นะครับไม่สามารถที่จะส่งงานให้กับ Isuzu ได้นะครับตอนนั้นนะครับ Isuzu เองเนี่ยครับต้องหยุดสายการผลิตไปเนี่ยครับประมาณ6สัปดาห์นะครับIsuzuไม่ได้จมนะครับไม่ได้จมน้ำแต่บิสเนสของ Isuzuเนี่ยจมน้ำนะครับทำให้Isuzuเองก็ไม่สามารถดำเนินการผลิตไปได้นะครับในปีนั้นนะครับเราก็พบว่าหนทางที่จะทำให้ Isuzuเนี่ยครับลดผลกระทบของภัยพิบัตินะครับแล้วก็สามารถที่จะกลับมาได้อย่างรวดเร็วเนี่ยครับมันก็คือเราต้องโปรโมทให้ทางซัพพลายเออร์เราเนี่ยครับทำ BCP นะครับนั่นหมายความว่าทำไม Isuzu ถึงเริ่มทำ BCP นะครับก่อนที่เราจะเริ่มทำ BCP เนี่ยครับเราก็มีการสำรวจนะครับว่าในบรรดาซัพพลายเออร์ของเราทั้งหมดเนี่ยครับมีซัพพลายเออร์เนี่ยรู้จัก BCP ยังไงบ้างนะครับแล้วก็พบว่าประมาณแค่ 19% นะครับที่ซัพพลายเออร์ของเราเนี่ยรู้จัก BCP นะครับแล้วก็อยู่ในสเตจของ BCM สามารถที่จะรับมือภัยพิบัติได้อย่างปลอดภัยนะครับมี 18% นี่ก็ระดับลดลงมาหน่อยนะครับไม่ถึง BCM นะครับก็เป็นได้แค่ BCP นะครับแล้วก็ที่พบว่าประมาณ33กับ 30% เนี่ยครับไม่รู้จัก BCP คืออะไรไม่รู้จักนะครับพอเราเจอข้อมูลอย่างเงี้ยครับเราก็ใช้ความเป็นลูกค้าของเรานะครับก็คือกดดันลักษณะว่าให้ทางซัพพลายเออร์เนี่ยครับออกแผนการนะครับว่าทางซัพพลายเออร์เนี่ยครับจะทำยังไงให้มันมี BCP เกิดขึ้นนะครับพบว่า3 ปีนะครับไม่มีความเคลื่อนไหวของกราฟตัวนี้เลยนะครับทำไงต่อครับ Isuzu จะต้องดำเนินกราฟตัวนี้ต่อไปนะครับ Isuzu ก็เลยเริ่มต้นการศึกษานะครับว่า BCP ครับมาตรฐานเนี่ยครับ BCP มันมีอะไรบ้างนะครับก็เราก็พบว่า BCP ตัว22301เนี่ยครับเป็นตัวที่ใช้กันอยู่ในปัจจุบันนะครับ Isuzu ก็เริ่มสตาร์ทที่จะเรียนรู้ BCP นะครับว่ามันมาได้ยังไงนะครับในช่วง 2-3 ปีแรกนะครับปี 2012-2013 เนี่ยครับเราพยายามหาผู้เชี่ยวชาญทางด้าน BCP เนี่ยครับมาสอนกับ Isuzu พบว่าหายากมากนะครับส่วนใหญ่ที่เราเจอในปีนั้นๆนะครับเราจะพบว่าจะเป็นผู้เชี่ยวชาญทางด้านน้ำท่วมนะครับด้านอุทกภัยด้านธรณีวิทยานะครับซึ่งไม่ตรงกับวัตถุประสงค์ของเรานะครับเราใช้เวลาประมาณเกือบ2 ปีนะครับกว่าเราจะหาเจอว่ามีคนสอนเรื่อง BCP อย่างจริงจังนะครับก็เราก็ไปเรียนนะครับประกอบกับปีที่แล้วนะครับเราพบว่า ADPC เนี่ยครับเป็นผู้เชี่ยวชาญทางด้านเรื่องนี้อยู่นะครับเราก็เลยใช้การติดต่อเข้ามาที่ ADPC เพื่อขอรับความรู้นะครับจากทาง ADPC นะครับก็เชิญเขาไปอบรมที่บริษัท Isuzu Motor นะครับหลังจากนั้นนะครับ Isuzu ก็เข้าร่วมโครงการ Train the Trainer นะครับที่เขาใหญ่3 วันนะครับเพื่ออะไรครับเพื่อ Isuzu เองนะครับจะได้มีความรู้เกี่ยวกับเรื่องของ BCP นะครับมีความรู้มากเพียงพอที่จะไปรีเควสทางซัพพลายเออร์ของเรานะครับให้ทำ BCP ให้กับเรานะครับเราก็ไปกัน3 วันก็มีหลายๆหน่วยงานที่ไปร่วมกับเราด้วยที่โน่นนะครับหลังจากนั้นนะครับ Isuzu เนี่ยครับก็มีโครงการอยู่2 โครงการนะครับก็คือโครงการแรกเนี่ยเรามีการเชิญซัพพลายเออร์ที่เป็น SME นะครับเข้าร่วมโครงการของ ADPC เนี่ย2 ซัพพลายเออร์นะครับก็คือทันซอนกับแซมโก้นะครับตอนนี้เราทำเวิร์กช็อปเนี่ยไป3 ครั้งแล้วจาก4 ครั้งนะครับคิดว่าเดือนพฤษภาเนี่ยครับก็คงจะจบโครงการนี้นะครับเราไม่ได้ทำแค่2เรามีอีกตั้ง200นะครับเพราะงั้นไอ้200เนี่ยครับเราก็เลยต้องเชิญทางซัพพลายเออร์มานะครับเพื่อมาอธิบายซัพพลายเออร์ว่า BCP ที่ Isuzu หมายถึงเนี่ยครับมันคืออะไรนะครับเราก็เชิญมานะครับทีละ25นะครับจนกระทั่งครบ8 กลุ่มนะครับเราทำจบเรียบร้อยแล้วนะครับเมื่อเดือนมีนา เมื่อเดือนที่แล้วนะครับครับเป็นคอร์ส1 วันนะครับอันนี้เป็นภาพตัวอย่างนะครับที่เราทำกับ SME Thailand นะครับกับ ADPC นะครับและนี้เป็นรูปนะครับที่เราเชิญทางซัพพลายเออร์เนี่ยครับเข้าไปร่วมอบรมกับเราที่บริษัท Isuzu Motor นะครับทั้งหมด8 รอบนะครับเราเริ่มตั้งแต่เดือน October นะครับจนถึงเดือน March นะครับก็มี Activity นะครับมีทั้งการอธิบายว่า BCP คืออะไรนะครับขั้นตอนในการทำ BCP เนี่ยมันเป็นยังไงนะครับรวมถึงการให้ทางซัพพลายเออร์เราเนี่ยครับร่วมทำเวิร์กช็อปนะครับแล้วก็มาพรีเซนต์กันว่า BCP ที่ถูกต้องที่ควรจะเป็นเนี่ยเป็นยังไงนะครับอันนี้เป็นฟีดแบ็กของการเทรนนิ่งนะครับก็คือซัพพลายเออร์เนี่ยครับจากที่ไม่เคยรู้ว่า BCP คืออะไรนะครับก็มีความรู้มากขึ้นนะครับรู้แล้วว่า BCP ที่ Isuzu หมายถึงเนี่ยคืออะไรนะครับแล้วก็ได้ร่วมทำแบบฝึกหัด BCP กับทาง Isuzu นะครับมีการร่วม brainstorming นะครับกับซัพพลายเออร์ที่มาร่วมสัมมนาด้วยนะครับแล้วก็สุดท้ายก็คือซัพพลายเออร์สามารถที่จะเอาไปใช้กับบริษัทตัวเองได้นะครับแต่ฟีดแบ็กที่กลับมาอีกนะครับเป็นคอมเมนต์นะครับก็คือเนื่องจาก Isuzu เองก็เพิ่งเริ่มต้นนะครับเพราะงั้นตัวอย่างอะไรเนี่ยที่เป็นเชิงโรงงานเนี่ยครับเราหาค่อนข้างยากนะครับทางซัพพลายเออร์เองก็อยากให้เราเนี่ยมีตัวอย่างมากกว่านี้นะครับแล้วก็เทรนนิ่งนะครับเป็นคอร์ส1 วันก็สั้นไปนิดนึงก็อยากได้คอร์ส3 วัน5 วันอะไรนี่ครับซึ่งเราก็เองบอกว่าเราก็คงไม่ไหวนะครับมีข้อหนึ่งนะครับทางซัพพลายเออร์เองเนี่ยครับอยากให้ Isuzu เนี่ยครับกำหนดเป็นมาตรฐานเลยนะครับเข้าไปใน Supplier Quality Manual นะครับเพื่อที่จะได้เป็นตัวบังคับให้เขาทำ BCP นะครับแล้วก็มีนะครับก็คือให้ทางเราเนี่ยครับออก Certificate นะครับก็คือถ้าเราไปตรวจสอบแล้วเนี่ย Supplier มี BCP ผ่านเนี่ยครับก็อยากให้เราออกเซอร์จาก Isuzu นะครับแล้วก็มี request ให้ไป audit นะครับแล้วก็มีการคอมเมนต์เรื่องของเอกสารแล้วก็เรื่องของ presenter นะครับอันนี้เป็นข้อมูลที่เราทำกับทาง Supplier เราเมื่อปีที่แล้วนะครับหลังจากที่เราจบสเต็ปแรกนะครับก็คือเราไปเรียนรู้นะครับแล้วก็สามารถที่จะอธิบายให้กับ Supplier เราที่อยู่ของ Isuzu ให้รับทราบว่า BCP ที่ Isuzu หมายถึงนะครับและอยากให้ทาง Supplier ทำเนี่ยเป็นยังไงนะครับเราคาดหวังว่าคงไม่ครบทั้ง 100% หรอกครับที่จะทำ BCP ได้เลยนะครับเพราะงั้นในสเต็ป2นะครับก็ขอความกรุณาจากทาง ADPC นะครับเราจะคัดเลือก Supplier นะครับแล้วก็จะเข้าไปทำเป็นเวิร์กช็อปเป็นสเต็ป by สเต็ปไปเพื่อเราจะได้ BCP ใน Supplier นั้นๆนะครับอันนี้เป็นผลงานของทาง Isuzu นะครับที่ทำเมื่อปีที่แล้วครับขอบคุณครับ
Thank you so much, Mr. Chanyut Jirapong, for an inspiring experience of proactiveness, leadership, and commitment. In the last panel, we talked a lot about how can we connect with the self-interest of enterprises. I think you gave us an excellent illustration. You said there were floods. We were not flooded, but we could not operate because our suppliers were not functional. That's an excellent way to connect with the self-interest. So for us to operate, we need to invest in disaster risk reduction. And so thank you for this inspiring example. And other questions or reaction from the panel? I think we're all very inspired by this model. And maybe feeling shy, saying, oh, if I ask something, I may need to bring that back to my company or to my organization to push for more of this. So thank you again for this sharing. And I would like to welcome now Mr. Jirapong Dharaphop, who is the Vice President Risk Management at PTTEP, which is PTT Exploration and Production, a company of PTT Group, the National Petroleum Exploration and Production Company. He's been there also more than 20 years, So he has range of experience and inside knowledge to share with us. So help me welcome Mr. Jirapong Dharaphop.
สวัสดีครับ Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it's good to be the last speaker of the day. Okay, my name is Jirapong Dharaphop, and I would like to thank ADPC to inviting me to be the panelist today. And today I would like to share with you about our experience about business interruption and our BCM concerns. We have some system, but we still have some concern. Our CSR program, and also our expectation that we could get something from the government. But before I start, I would like to talk about my company just a little bit. PTT EP is the PTT, part of PTT groups. ENP is the exploration and production. We were established in 1985. It's about 30 years ago. And we are a national oil company. We do the upstream business for PTT. We're dealing for oil and gas. We have about 40 projects in about 10 countries. So outside Thailand, we still have another 9 or 10 countries. And we produce about 330,000 barrels oil equivalent per day. That's about 1/3 of the Thailand petroleum production. And we were in the stock market starting from 1993. And when the oil price about $100 per barrel, our market cap is a lot more than this. It's about, right now it's about $10 billion. Our mission, we will operate globally to provide reliable energy supply and sustainable value to our stakeholder. Okay, that's about my company. Now let's talk about the experience that we have from business interruption. I picked some of the events from the last 8 years, from 2008 until the latest one. We have the fishermen try to block the channel in Songkhla, which is the main supply base for our operations. The event does not or did not involve with us directly. It happened a couple of times with different reasons. Sometimes they fight between each other, between the big budget fishermen and small budget fishermen. So the big fishing boat fighting with the small fishing boat, and they try to block the Songkhla channel to get attention from the government. We were inside. We have the AHTS, the tax to supply to our drilling rigs. We can't go out. In some incident, there was an issue that related directly to our activities. For example, the seismic activities, and their demand for compensation. And they asked quite a lot of money and not reasonable in our opinion. So we couldn't pay them. And sometimes there was a spill, and they say, PTT, you are the one. So again, they blocked the channel. In 2009, that was the incident in Australia. We just moved to have the operation outside Thailand not long ago. And Australia is one of our target country. We took the company over from the previous operator. And when we try to resume our operation, the incident happened. We have the well control incident. So basically, the well flow when we are not ready. And finally, there was an explosion and fire. And there was a leak to the sea, but mostly the condensate, so it's evaporated very quickly. However, the big problem is the Australian government, we almost lose the license to operate because they do not trust the one that caused the incident. And during that time, they asked for the business continuity plan, emergency plan. We were not ready. It takes quite some time to get this kind of problem finished. This one, 2011, it's a major flood of Bangkok. Everybody talking about this. Similar to Isuzu, our building, our office not have the direct effect from the flooding, but our staff who has to who stay around Bangkok, they cannot commute to work. So we have to work from everywhere. And during that time, we do not have the clear plan or the BCP. So we work, we have to hire the hotel, we have to work from Pattaya, we work from Phuket. Basically, we work close to the operation site. And a lot of hotel around Bangkok. And it takes more than a month before we can come back to work. And that one is very famous one. They came to show power. I think that one is the Bangkok shutdown day. We thought it will be a day or two, but it's become 21 weeks that we could not get in our office. When we move back in, we have to move in as a phase. Phase 1 as a core people, phase 2, phase 3. And we have a lot of food or something that can be spoiled in the refrigerator. We have to move everything out, clear up everything, and clear all the fungi and everything in the aircon system. It takes a lot of time and effort to clear this. But during that time, we already have learned from a few experience before, so we start to have some BCP. So it's a bit better. From the experience, we start to introduce the business continuity management system in 2012 after the big flood of Bangkok. And we work on it. We refer to ISO 22301, which is the international standard to refer to the business continuity management. And the main component is this. So we need to have the policy. Basically, it's plan, do, check, act. And finally, we have the BCP for the main business process, both domestic and international operation. But for me, some concern. We still have a lot of management buy-in. The very top management, they have buy-in because, okay, it is good. But the second line, the third line management, it's a lot of burden because they have to prepare a lot of things. They have to prepare the alternate site, backup equipment, try to ensure that the third party have the plan, try to have all the document, all the procedure, exercise, and they have to do it once a year. So it takes a lot of time and effort to do it. Another concern is cost, because everything, if you want to do it right, do it good, you need to invest, you have to put money. It sometimes is going to different direction. The management wants something, they ask for budget, but no, budget, they can spare some budget, but not at the level that make it to the right level. System is also quite difficult and very, it takes a lot of time, effort to prepare the document, starting from the top policy, and then we have to have standard, we have the procedures, and then guideline, and also the plan, and then the exercise. Oh, already 10 minutes. Okay, I'll go quickly then. That's our concern. We have some, but what I need is the culture. We would like everybody in the company to do it without enforce them to do it. They need to do a backup plan, they need to do the exercise by themselves. We would like to have them to have business continuity management in their mind. Actually, this is to explain the supply chain. I use this one as an example. This is the semi-submersible. This is the drilling rig to drill the oil. It's the workhorse for oil business. And there are so many business around them. A boat, chopper, shell shaker. This is a tool to evaluate where is the oil, how much is the oil. And there are so many components. What I want to say is there are so many components, and small supplier, third-party SME could be part of this. And if they have problem, small problem, we have problem. This one, it costs about $300,000 per day. So basically, it's very expensive if we have to stop for even 1 hour. We also do a lot of CSR activity, cover all the area, domestic and international. And we expect that the people will see us as a good company. We do everything for them, not only take the advantage, but we do not expect any monetary value from this. The expectation, government support. The first point is understanding of our resilient issue or our business continuity management and plan. Another thing is to pool the resources. If we have the plan but other people do not have the plan, it's useless. So they probably to be the middleman to coordinate everything and support everybody. Protect, I'm talking about some unlawful activity like the fishermen who just come and close or do the blockage. That is not fair for anybody. We did not get involved with the problem, but we have to get some resolve from them. Another thing is the incentive from tax, from subsidies. If we invest something for this, maybe if it will be good if we can get something back. Loyalty, we have to pay 12.5% for every $100 we gain to the government. It will be nice if they can share something properly and systematically to the local area that we produce petroleum from get back to the local. And this is the last slide. Thank you very much.
Dharaphop, thank you very much for sharing this experience of disaster risk reduction and all the business interruptions you had, how it took time to arrive to have a BCP. What are the implications also of having BCP? So yes, a lot of advantages, but there's a lot of constraints in terms of cost, in terms of mobilizing management, in terms of training people, investing times and effort in understanding. You gave us also a very good example on what we called before the self-interest, now the motivation that we can bring up and mention to enterprises. When you told us this experience in Australia, the incident you had, no? And when Australian government asks for the BCP, you say, well, we don't have. They say, wow, they're not so serious. No? So definitely it seems that what I have heard also is when abroad or even in the country, they see that it's a company with a BCP, that's with a reflection on these topics, it gives like more credit, more credential of the organizations. Are there any questions in the audience? Some part you would like to know more of? Okay, so please help me to thank very warmly our 4 panelists. Thank you very much for all your sharing. I hope you will be with us tomorrow also, so we can come to you and get more insights from your experience. To finish, we have like a 30-minute wrap-up. No, I'm joking. I have good news. I have very good news passed on to me by ADPC. We are all kindly invited to join dinner at the 22nd floor. So some of you have received invitation, some have not received, but even for those who have not received, you're kindly invited to join if you have time and if you want to. So looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please have a good sleep, because tomorrow is going to be very intense and we're going to ask you more of your contribution. Don't hesitate to write down all the questions that will keep you awake tonight about disaster risk reduction, and we'll answer them tomorrow. Good night. Thank you.